He's about to set himself up and shoot himself in the foot, talk about he gonna make them look stupid. Sir, the Lord says vengeance is mine. He ain't no dummy. He might be an idiot, but he's not a dummy. He see Cashapp the table, so, oh God, I'm in trouble. I'm finished. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is LolaAjisafe here. We are reviewing Ready to Love. And what is this? Something about intimacy. Anyway, housekeeping rules. As you come in, forget to like the video. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And last but not least, tell me what you think. Drop something in the comments and say, hey, what's up? It's been a minute. Yeah, it's been a minute. But we're doing this. We're doing this. Not quite as early as on time as I like, but we're here. We're doing it. We're going to have fun doing it. So how do we start? Episode 4 starts off with the ladies' lounge. At this point, I'm just like, yo, are they going to bring up the Alonso stuff? Because I want, like, stuff like in the past seasons, you know, the stuff would fester. It would have happened like episodes before, you know, nephew Uncle Tommy got wind of it. So I really want him to, like, what we're going to do. We're going to fix this, or what we're going to do. That's how I'm feeling. I know you guys are feeling the same way too. So let's see what happens. So of course, we know with the lounges, ladies' lounge this week, there's always an assignment. This week the assignment is, what is intimacy? You know, at least they will give their definition what intimacy is. Or in his words, he wanted them to, you know, pick something that's, you know, important to them and put it into. I mean, jokes aside, that is a real question about intimacy, because it left to Lamar. That all he think about is about should have bow bow, should have been bow bow. That's all he think. That when he hear the word intimacy, that's all I think comes to mind. I feel like it was a plant to zhuzh up the season. You know, it's always good to have a bad. I don't know, but I just refuse to believe that a 42-year-old man don't have common sense. As I'm saying that, I realize that you're wrong. That's me. I'm wrong. Actually, there could be a 50, 60-year-old man who don't have common sense to know certain things. So I take that back, but it's just still kind of painful and hard to see. So I stand corrected. I corrected myself. I realized that sometimes I might be expecting too much, but I don't think it's expecting too much. Anyway, before we get lost in that rabbit hole, let's keep going. So remember, we had some guy who dropped out. Literally had the car stop and, you know, and didn't end up showing up. Anyway, they replaced him with some gentleman called Justin. Alright, so I've wanted the name of the guy who didn't show up, whatever his name was. Now we have some gentleman called Justin. They threw up some pictures. He's a teacher, 34-year-old. Yeah, he's easy on the eye, so this is a pleasant surprise. Somebody's looking out for the ladies. There must be at least one woman producer on the team who figured out, yo, we can't keep running behind, like perpetuating this demonic numbers and averages. So first date of the episode is something that Lexus, or I think they call her Lexit, set up. I guess I hadn't been paying attention. I don't know if this is a side house or real house, so I'm gonna have to go back and look. But at this point, I remember looking like, oh, she's a referee. Clearly, I wasn't paying attention to her in the last episode or two. I know she had talked about, you know, having the skin condition, but other than that. But anyway, she's in a referee uniform, decides to, you know, show something that's important to her. So she's into sports, she's into basketball. Maybe she does, you know, low-key reffing on the side. But anyway, so she's in a referee uniform and has the other people play, and I believe it was Will and Will. So what we're going to do now, while the two Wills are on, we're going to call Lil Will. Lil one is the chocolate fella with a small head, and then Will is, you know, the bigger dude. The more full-figured guy. And then it was Lamar and Rashina. And so I believe it was when Alexis was talking with two of the guys, Will and Lamar, and she, you know, of course, that's one of the assignments. What is intimacy to them? Yo, we'll come up with something like, yeah, like intimacy first starts with God. Because the Will I saw in the first episode, and like this is why it takes time, you know, you have conversations with someone, because I'm like, Like, who slipped him the answers to the test? I don't know, it just felt like, And I'm not saying he's not that kind of guy, but just what he had led. And sometimes that's when they say, first impressions you never get a second opportunity to make a first impression. And so my first impression of Lil Will had not been it was very, I didn't have a great impression of him. I just had like he just seemed to be a little full of himself for reasons I'm yet to find out. But when he came up with that, will for him starts with God, even though I know that he lied to me, like I know he gaming me. There's something I remember hearing. I believe it was I want to say it was Pastor Femi, and he said something about someone who is a liar, who deceives people. Even though you know they're a liar, the minute you listen to them, you're already being deceived. Now, if you know you're in front of a liar, the first thing you need to do is don't even listen to them. Depart. So you know how we talk as Christians, we talk about the devil, the Satan. Even though you know it's the devil, Satan is there, you know what his job is to do, is to kill, steal, and destroy. That's what his mission is on this planet. But if you give him attention, if you give him audience, as Nigerians say, if you give him audience, he has deceived you already. So this is how I'm just liking it to Will, and I don't know the guy yet, but just like from what I got from the other episode, I'm like, he come up with this. The fact that I've given him audience is like, I'm already being deceived. Because I was like, yeah, and that's how guys get girls. They just be like, let me throw in a little, let me sprinkle small God. But the question now is like, I realize now that two groups of people continue to test people. First group of people, at least people with wisdom, that these two groups, and not that if you don't test them, you're not wise, but there are two groups of people I know that always test people. One, men are always testing women, they have their little games they play. I'm about to go into the archives and talk with the fellas and find out what the tests are and let y'all know. And then the second group of people that I know that test people are individuals who've been in money. They've had wealth for a long period of time and understand that it's merely a tool, but they don't want to be a tool because people want to be with them because of what they have. So you'll find people tell you that a lot of people who are extremely wealthy, I don't mean someone who's making like wherever that is. Like if you're talking about someone who's making, then they're not making enough. Like if they say somebody's making this, they're not making enough. But when I talk about wealthy people, I'm talking about like the likes of Dangote, for those are Nigerians. I don't want to talk about Musk, but people we know who have wealth, there are certain tests they will do to test if the person around them is really there for them or there for the money. Now, it's not to say that you as somebody with something, you have an aversion to helping or being around someone who doesn't have, but what the aversion is to being around somebody whose main sole interest, primary, let me use the word, the person's primary interest is in you because of what you have, then you don't want to be around that kind of person. So I say this to say, let's be testing guys now. What do you mean? What do you mean by testing? I don't mean like throw booby traps. I mean pay attention in that. Yeah, just because he talked about God one time, look for the consistency and the depth of his conversation. The devil can quote scriptures. So I'm not saying that if he can quote 3 scriptures, he's issuing. No. Continue to watch him. Did I say then he will reveal himself? Time always reveals everything. Like if something is happening in a hurry, there's something somebody's hiding. Like, so it's not like, so when I say something, if somebody's trying to rush you into making a decision, and that's not, it's not you just saying, I know because I know because I know. Because sometimes you can meet, I have a friend who was talking about, met a husband in 12 days, they've been together, decades now, and it's still great. I'm not saying that because she said she knew that she knew that she knew. No, I'm talking about when you're in a position when you feel like someone's putting pressure on you. When you don't know what to do, stand still. Be still. So what I'm saying now is you meet someone, watch, allow them to reveal who they are, because they will. They will. AI has not overtaken human beings yet. Now, when AI comes to overtake humans, then we're in trouble, because the AI can keep up appearances for decades. But if it's still a human you're talking to that's in front of you, they will soon reveal who they are and what their purpose is and what their primary interest is. They will really just be looking. Just hopefully they'll reveal it before you feel you're too heavily invested, and now you're trying to make up or pretend or bury the red flags, or say just be looking, and just be praying too. God, when you finally say, sis, you too, without just carry your bag. Don't even try and debate or negotiate with God. Just carry your bag and just be going. Exit stage left. Anyway, back to the story is, so Will made that statement, even though I know that he's lying, and I don't really know, but I think he is. I'm still like, yo, see how they get us sweet words and they talk about God. That's how they try and fire you and disarm you. Don't be disarmed. And of course, same question that went to Lamar. And I already know what Lamar said, so I don't really need to go into it, but he did not disappoint. He was consistent. If there's anything I'm going to give this Agbaya, and Agbaya really means just a person who's acting childlike but is old enough to know better. If anything I'm going to give him is his consistency, because he couldn't even try out, he couldn't try and he couldn't pretend that there was some intelligence to bring out. He kept bringing it back. I don't want to mess my spirits. Keep talking about this guy. Let's keep this moving. So finally we get to meet the new fella. Justin goes on a pet date with Rashina. They both have pets. Initially maybe in theory, in a producer's mind, it made beautiful sense. They both have pets. Let's go for a pet date. They didn't really account for, some of those days when I don't have a pet right now, but I know how they can get. They just like kids when they just decide to get rowdy. They're like, you're not going to have peace. There's a saying in my language where they say, the child who says his mother will not have peace will also not have peace. But keep in mind, the child has enough energy and don't have a job and don't have to do nothing. So when they finish bothering you, they've now gone to sleep while you are still bothered. So yeah, it still rolls, but it doesn't roll. But anyway, so the pet dates was kind of rowdy for a second, but they're able to quiet it down and then sit down and talk. And so we get to, of course, we know that Justin's 34, Rashina's 37 or 38. So there's a 4-year gap. Mary and Paquito, there's just small gap. Nobody's blown away by this gap. We're okay with this gap. Next thing she mentioned, she has 2 kids. He has no kids. Now there's something he said here, and I don't know if it's a little too early. I don't know the gentleman. He might be very clear, but I just thought when I heard him say, I don't have any kids, but I'm okay if I don't. I think it's too early. I feel a lot of the time when I see a situation where there's a lady who might be a little bit older, typically, and it's happened a few times, and I'm going to use 2 examples right now, where later on down the line, maybe a year or 2 years, it comes up again and becomes an issue where they break up because all of a sudden, she, as the older woman, has had children. She's gotten to a point where she can't have them anymore. Then he starts feeling, legacy calling. His loins are saying, where's our legacy? Where's our legacy? And I'm not being facetious. I'm actually just trying to say it lightly. It's a little early, I think, at 34 to say, I'm okay if I don't have kids. I'm not saying he doesn't feel like that, but it's a huge risk to take. And 2 examples I wanted to use were, one of the biggest examples was Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher. I think they had a great relationship, but I think one of the things that broke them up was the fact that she had, kids that are close to his age, probably couldn't have kids anymore, and he wanted kids, and eventually they broke up. And I don't think it's because they didn't like each other. I think that, they just went with it, went with the wind, but hadn't really discussed it. I think that's a big thing. There's some, big things that really define relationships, and that's similar goals. If those goals change, there's, particularly if it involves children and money, and the money is not forthcoming, it's really hard to work against that. Second couple I'm talking about, which recently broke up, was what's her name? Sofia Vergara and her husband, the very handsome man. I've forgotten his name. Joseph, I can't remember his name, but you all know who I'm talking about. The rumor on the street is that they broke up because he wants children and she doesn't. And they've been together 7 years. So I hear what Justin's saying, but experience tells me that he may feel like that now, but he may change his mind, or he may not even really feel like that. He's just saying what he thinks he needs to say, or what she wants to hear. He may be saying what he thinks that she wants to hear, and that's sweet and nice, but it's not real, because at 38, and it's not, she can still have kids into her 40s, but she's now also saying, well, she's open, because she understands. I think she understands that it comes up more often than we like to admit, that when he may say he don't want to. Now, if he has kids and everything, then you all are good and it's gravy. But if he doesn't have kids, and one day he wakes up talk about he wants kids, that's a conversation that doesn't always end in a happy place. It always ends with somebody with tears. Either him always denying himself of, having that legacy from his loins, or her being left alone because he went to go get the legacy. Somebody's going to end. Usually it's somehow. So that's why I'm looking at him like, I'm not saying he doesn't know what he wants, but I'm saying experience tells me that it's not a light thing. Just like, okay, cool, yeah, let's no. That's something that needs to be really, Holy Spirit needs to intervene before you people die. But so in between, which is quite early, as Uncle Nephew Tommy mentioned, is that Leyland, my sister from Sierra Leone, has a meeting with him. Of course, for privacy, they don't tell us what the emergency is, so we don't know, but something happened in her family, and she's trying to decide if she is going to stay or leave the process. And so he says, look, because she is one of the favorites. She is one of the favorites, and Tommy knows that. So he's like, look, let me give you a week off so you can figure it out. He's hoping that will, get some time, because Leyland was one of the top 3. It was her, Maya, and I want to say Patrice. Now, of course, we might have some reshuffling, but I want to say she was easily in the top 3 without debate. So next date, Chaz is holding like a game night, get together. Alonzo's there, Koshia's there, Vanessa's there, and of course, Patrice. And Patrice invited Justin. Good looking out, sis. Good looking out, sis. She invited Justin. Justin comes along. There's this sudden uncomfortable moment between Chaz and Justin when he mentions something about whether his uncle, some family members, the mayor of somewhere. And Chaz like, so why you lead with that? Like, now if Chaz hadn't said that, I was thinking that. But then when Chaz said, I'm like, Chaz, what's your own? But I can appreciate Chaz for saying something, seeing something and thinking something and saying it, as opposed to going to say it on the green screen. Like he's scared. So he showed that he's not scared, and he just literally blurted it out like, okay, so. And maybe there was a whole conversation, I don't know. But the fact that Chaz blurted it out when he blurted out makes me feel there was no context when he blurted it out. So Justin, that's not a red flag. That's a yellow flag. Like, were you nervous? You thought you need to, I don't know. Like, you need to give us your stats. I got my eye on you now. Because my guy, nobody wants, someone always trying to, name drop. Another thing that happened here was Alonzo pulled Koshia to the side, and it seemed to be really sincere between the two of them. Now, I don't know if some conversation has occurred behind the scenes to prevent any drama, because Ready to Love doesn't want any drama again. They don't want this kind of, sexual innuendo drama. So either some producer have intervened and cleaned it up and then brought it to the camera to show us that it's been cleaned up, or they just figured, they didn't want to mess the whole process up with bad energy. Now, clearly they're not going to be connects, but at least they've settled and they'll stay away from each other. That's how I'm seeing it. But one of the two things happened. But I felt a little bit better. Now, of course, you heard I'm a little suspicious, like somebody said something, but it's been cleaned up a little bit, so I'm okay with that. So again, we can see that Alonzo and Patrice are still clicking. I mean, I've explained what I think it is, where she's in her life. She don't want any beef, just wants something easy, simple. That's what she needs for the time being. I don't know if it's going to be, for a long time. It's going to be for a good time, but not maybe necessarily a long time. Or I could be wrong. As long as they share the same ideal and same goal or same direction where they want to go, then they could be gravy. So everything, everybody starts heading out, and then Vanessa is hanging back because Chaz has asked her to hang back. That's my assumption. That's what I'm seeing. So she hangs back and they talk, and they're now confirming the mutual interest. And something I thought that was really sweet was when they said some things out there, and he says, I want you to feel safe. Hands up, I surrender. I think on many occasions, I might have said this, but I'm going to emphasize it now. When we feel safe, you have the keys to the kingdom. And that feeling of safety, it can't be manufactured. You can pretend, but there's always going to be reserve. But if she truly feels safe, that's it. Now you have people, everything that goes on with us will boil back down to feeling safe. Whether it's money, whether it's sex, whether it's intimacy, whether it's whatever it is, reroute it. What's the root? Safety. So when we hear people talking about this, that, because there seems to be a lot of men versus women conversations online, and what I have realized, a lot of these men versus women conversations online in the chat, in the group, it's always, most of the time, disenfranchised males coming for women for one reason or the other. And so it always perpetuates that whole narrative of men versus women, and that's rubbish. I feel there are a number of people on both ends. I just let's have a conversation of, oh, so that's where you're coming from, that, and boom, let's hash it out. But just to address that whole thing when they're talking about woman's this, woman's that, the bottom line, the foundation, the root, the cocoa, as Nigerians say, is her feeling safe. And not to say that he shouldn't feel safe too, he should. But women are better equipped, and I'm saying that loosely, I'm generalizing, so forgive me, are better equipped to create that nurturing environment. We do this in our sleep. We're pretty good at that, not all. Most of us are pretty good at that with our children. So it's not hard to imagine that we could extrapolate that to a partner. But when he said that, that was so key, at least for me. I heard he said, I want you to feel safe. I didn't have any crazy thing for Chaz, as in like, oh, whoa, he won me over. But now, that one phrase has me looking at him like, nah, he don't have the keys to the kingdom yet. But he in the running. And I was impressed. And I think that's women as a whole, that's what we need. And I don't want the peanut gallery to run with that and say like, oh, I'm just going to tell her. No, mean it and understand that's what she needs. Don't offer it or say you're going to do it if you can't. There's a couple to watch. This is episode 4, right? There's a couple to watch. I'm a little excited about it too. Like, okay, all right. Okay, because I had a soft spot for Vanessa anyway, and Chaz come up with that line like, yo, he got me, yo. Then so we have a scene between Maya and Lamar. Maya's doing her entrepreneur thing. She's got a waist trainer. I think I'm gonna get a waist trainer too. She's marketing her waist trainer, and then of all people for it to be there, that's somebody. I don't want to abuse them and say useless somebody, because that's really what I wanted to say. But I'm trying to 2024. I'm trying to come up with like just positivity only, but not to the point of lying. It's a kind of lie. So anyway, Lamar Shah comes in, starts his nonsense. So Maya even tried. She's trying to get him to open up and talking about intimacy and da. He got nothing to say. Nobody's home. The question now is, she asks herself, is he here for the right reason? Sis, that's what I've been saying since. That's what I've been saying for my life. As soon as he came onto the scene, like that's why I feel like he's such an obvious mismatch that he feels like a plant to me. Now I'm talking like Cat Williams. He feels like a plant to me, just to zhuzh up, because these reality shows always like they want to create a storyline. They have writers. Every good story has a villain. Everybody wants someone to not like. just together, you know, keep everybody brings everybody together, a cohesiveness, because they have that one thing in common. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? Isn't that what we say? So everybody wants a villain so they can put that bad energy onto the villain. But the villain, I don't know if you know he's a villain though. Like, he thinks he's keeping it real. Let me just keep this moving. So next group date, Maya invites the group to somewhere. I don't know where this place is, and I wasn't paying attention. Sorry, but it looked like some kind of bar. It's a game place, but anyway, she invites Laurent, Jonathan, Mika, and I think the initial conversation, Mika had said that when she first met Jonathan, when they had talked about his baby mother, he hadn't quite mentioned or corrected her that baby mother was actually an ex-wife. I'm not sure how to handle this, because yeah, I don't know. I'm not just jumping with her like, oh, he was trying to see me, because depending their levels, like their levels in where I will have a conversation. So people may even ask me sometimes, oh, what do you do? My go-to response is I work in emergency room. Like, you have to ask me 3-4 questions if I'm present for the 4th question to really get the juice. And that's just me. I don't, like, we ain't cool like that. Like, I'm not necessarily to just vomit everything out. I'm either going to be evasive or I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to lie, but it's not every Tom, Dick and Harry that I'm just going to and spit everything out. So I kind of get that, but I wasn't there in the moment to feel her context, to see like why she feels so deceived. They had a conversation, you know, I don't think she's satisfied, but at least she's heard that he wasn't trying to lie, but he was being evasive, and she doesn't quite understand his reasoning for being evasive, because that's something I tend to do anyway. I get it. Laurent and Maya get talking. Yo, you people, tell me like what you think. I'm looking at Laurent, and the Laurent me I'm seeing and Laurent they are seeing seems to be 2 different Laurents. I don't know. Y'all tell me, like, am I? Cause she talked about we're gonna be a power couple, Caesar, zap zoop, and I'm just like, I'm tapping my eyeballs that open, like, I don't know, is it? Maybe, I don't know, but I'm like, Maya, like, I don't see it, but anyway, they seem to have a little vibe going on here about this power couple, Michelle and Obama kind of thing. It happens like that. So, ladies lounge, end of the week. Turns out Leyland is going to leave. We still don't know why, but she's left. And I saw her walking away. She was in a yellow dress or something. I was like, oh, that's kind of sad. She seemed like a really sweet lady, but I do believe in everything happened for a reason. I don't think her guy was there anyway. I don't think so. I know she was a favorite, but I don't think her guy was there. That's my take. Her guy wasn't there. They weren't on her level. Y'all don't come for me, but they weren't. All right. So they start having a conversation. They're talking back and forth. Everybody talking about, oh, my favorite guy, blah 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 blah. And then Koshia says something about Lexi, that Lexi had gone back to Will to discuss with him what the ladies were saying about him, that he had a very aggressive behavior with sexual connotations on it. And that now made me think that, oh, when Will answered the question like that, and I was like, I know he's deceiving me, but he still got me. I still was like, I know that's not I know you got the answers. Like, even hearing him say, I know he got the answers to the quiz, but I'm still a little bit impressed. And this gave me some context. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that to me, that looked like, aha, that's yeah. Because hard for a leopard to change their spots, but that kind of gave me some insight now, because now she's feeding him the quiz answers because she wants him to stay on long, because apparently she likes him. So she's trying to help him by feeding him. But the problem now is, how did the rest of them know? How do the rest of them know that 2 of them are talking? Does Will have a big mouth? Because if Lexi, and I'm not supporting them, I'm just saying in real life, if the 2 of them had a conversation, when A and B had a conversation, how did C get into it for it to get back to the ladies? Yeah. Somebody has verbal diarrhea. And clearly it's not Lexi, because Lexi is a little bit miffed by it. So Lexi really is Lil Will, the one you want to put your neck out for. Because how to get back to the ladies, that's what I want to know. That's what all of us want to know. How to get back. How do they know that she was feeding him the quiz questions and answers? I don't know. So they, it gets a little revved up, rah rah rah. Cause she's going rah rah rah. That if she wants it, she can get it. Then she just stands up, and even as the aggressor goes to go and do her ugly cry, in her words, don't quote me, she said it. She went to do her ugly cry in the back scene, and this is what I noticed. I noticed that Mika and Patrice went to support her. So it's like a click, and then Vanessa and Maya remained on the couch. They were Switzerland. So episode 4, we've seen some breakdown in the cast. Like, okay, this is who they fall. And it's still early yet, so I'm not judging anyone, but that's what it looked like. But we know who's in the bottom 2, and so the bottom 2, Will, that's Lil Will, meets up with Alexis, his cohort, who put her neck out for him, and I'm telling him as he showed up, sir, don't sweat it. You're lucky, It's not your time this week, but keep watch out. You next. So she kind of breaks it down to them that she's still kind of, and I guess because the producer told her, she breaks it down to him that some of the ladies that they've said they found him lustful, a little bit aggressive. He talked about sleeping on the floor, all blah 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 blah. So my guy, it's a warning. I don't know if he's going to heed the warning, because it sounds like bruh wants to go home, because he didn't hit the one. Talk about the next time they see him, he's going to keep it real. He's going to make them look stupid. That never works, particularly for a man, because it don't look right for a man to go rah 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 with a woman. Y'all can say what you want, because men and women are not the same. A man shouldn't come rah 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 for me, because what I'm going to do is call Pookie and them, so he can, let me see, go rah rah with them, not with me. I'm a woman, you're a man. We're not the same. I'm here telling you you're not the same. I'm one of those. We're different. So what you're not going to do is be up in my face, steam in my face. No, go steam up Pookie's face and let me see if you're going to do that. Pookie's like 2 feet above you, if you're still going to be doing rah 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 with him. So yeah, that whatever his plan is a recipe for disaster. He's about to set himself up and shoot himself in the foot. Talk about he going to make them look stupid. Sir, the Lord says vengeance is mine. You better sit down and just play it cool. You get more respect, you get more points if you play it cool. Do you people not watch these seasons before you? Anyway, let's move on. Cashapp and Lamar. He ain't no dummy. He might be an idiot, but he's not a dummy. He see Cashapp at the table, so, oh God, maybe I'm in trouble. I'm finished. But he played cool. He know he's finished. Cause he did this nonsense last week. He gleefully sent old girl home because he was rude to her. I think her name was April, the pharmacist. Like he snapped to her, and then she see him at the date. He know what that means. If there's somebody you have beef with, it's a date. They're sending you home. Yeah, that's it. It's not that we're trying again. We're not trying again. Yes, it's going home. So he see Cashapp at the date. He's like, oh God. The girls met. It's time for me to go home. But maybe he thought he was bottom 2. He didn't know he was going to go home, or he just played it off. But Bravo is completely unapologetic. She's trying to tell him what the ladies think. What did he say? He was trying to open the ladies up to see if you want them to say what they really want. No, sir. You were trying to show them what you really want. You didn't care what they really wanted, because nobody knows who you are. You just look like a clown. You look like a grown-ass clown with a beard. That's the role you played in the 3-4 episodes you've been on. And then so she's still being polite and just like, okay, all right, sir. Thank you very much. What the lady said, he's like, change your tone of voice. Oh my goodness. I dare him to try that with a man. Tell a man to change your tone of voice right in front of him. Talk about, take the bass out of your voice and whisper. Like you say something stupid like that. So what will happen? Just like that. Yeah, like he's antagonistic on purpose, and I don't know why. He may have a story, he may just be playing a role. But talk about change the tone of voice is on a level of disrespect that what I'm saying right now is that the producer that picked him needs to be put on administrative leave, because you are an enemy of progress. Like you've not been saying your prayers, or maybe you don't believe in God, because how you vetted this guy and put him on the air. Or maybe maybe they're giving you power because I'm talking about him, but no, it's not fair, because now you expose women to elements of disaster like that, and that's wickedness. So I still insist that the producer that vetted this guy Lamar needs to be on administrative leave. I said it. Anyway, Lamar's gone home. Lamar gone home. Ding dong dong, which is dead. But there's always more nonsense to be unraveled. But Lamar was doing too much from too early. At least, you know, give us a second to breathe. No, it was just a boom, boom, boom. He didn't care. He was trying to keep it real. I don't know what he was trying to do, but Lamar's gone. So, guys, what do? End of episode 4, y'all. So, you know what? Don't forget to like, drop a comment, and hit the subscribe button. Here we are. We're at the end of the video. Let's see what episode 5 is going to bring. But I feel some relief that Lamar's gone home. My concern now is, like, what's his name want to start acting a fool? Bro, man, Lil Will's gonna looks like one act a fool, or he might have just been running his mouth because there's all these emotions. I don't know, but guys, we're gonna stop here and we'll pick it up next week. All right, Lola, over and out. Thanks.